But first, breaking news to start off tonight that we just want to quickly hit. Former Vice President Mike Pence has been subpoenaed by the special counsel overseeing probes into former President Donald Trump, which means that special counsel Jack Smith is now actively investigating much more than classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago. Multiple networks have now confirmed that Smith's office is seeking documents and testimony related to January 6th. They want to force Pence to testify about his interactions with Trump leading up to the 2020 election and the day of the attack on the Capitol. The subpoena apparently follows months of negotiation between Pence's legal team and federal prosecutors. Let's get right to Renato Mariotti, former federal prosecutor who has followed this case very closely. Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it. So what does this tell you?
Well, it tells me a couple of things. As you suggested, Dan, it indicates that special counsel Jack Smith is charging full steam ahead on the January 6th investigation, which is interesting. I think a lot of us thought the Mar-a-Lago case was easier to prove, that he might push the January 6th case to the back burner. Also, it suggests that he's pretty far along in that investigation. I don't think Vice President Pence would be one of your first witnesses you'd speak to, because there's a lot of other people who can talk about most of what occurred. Really, the things that Vice President Pence could talk about that other witnesses couldn't would be his private one-on-one conversations with then President Trump.
Will he be forced to testify? Is he going to fight the subpoena, do you think?
Great question. If I was going to tell you my hunch is that his team invited the subpoena. In other words, they said he would be willing to testify, but he'd want to be subpoenaed so that there was no question that he was compelled to testify. And that happens often with witnesses who don't want to seem like they're trying to help the government. That would be my guess. We'll know very quickly, because if Vice President Pence's team really didn't want him to testify, I think they would go to court and fight this, although that would certainly be fruitless. It would mostly just be for show to indicate that they're opposing the effort.
Real quick, any argument that he could make to try and avoid testifying, executive privilege or something else?
Very difficult. He'd have to basically say that his testimony wasn't necessary, that he didn't know things the prosecutor couldn't get from other sources. Very unlikely that he'll be able to make that argument successfully.
Renato Mariotti, thank you as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.